Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Bonnie, Bruce, and David. I just brought it up because he mentioned the band, but what's interesting is, and I just want to pop on and then pop back off, I'm trying to get some work done today, is I am seeing a huge change with email. Your opening rates, David, are just amazing to hear that. I don't know who your recipients are with respect to your email, but what I'm finding with millennials and even younger than millennials is they like being on one platform. They like being, for example, the new Snapchat 2.0 that updated earlier this week. Mm-hmm. The reason that's so huge is because they can go to Snapchat, they can stay in one platform, and they can communicate with audio, video, real-time text. They can share geofilters. They can share images from their camera roll without ever having to leave the Snapchat platform. And what I've noticed with a lot of young adults, a lot of young business people that I am around all the time because of some of the different things that I do, is the only reason they use email is if they're receiving incoming updates from their colleges, if their professors are giving them schedules. For me, I've been trying so hard to get my two very successful kids to take advantage of their personalized email addresses that I reserved for them 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Back when they were still available at .coms, which they're still there for them. They're on Instagram and Snapchat. They're on. They're not reading blog posts. They're not reading emails. They're not even listening to podcasts. They don't have time to do all that. They're not interested in doing that. And I'm talking about young executives. I'm talking about college students. Guys like you, David, guys like Chris Brogan, a friend of mine who have very successful email list. I get it. And you guys have developed that relationship where your readers trust you and they're looking forward to getting your content. And that's a value. I mean, the ROI on that is just, it's just amazing. But what I am seeing and what I tell other professionals, especially other lawyers, is if they want to start building their practices and they want to start branding themselves, they need to communicate with this younger audience. I mean, 18 to 30. In a way that the audience wants them to communicate with them. Right. They don't want to hear from me from email. They want to hear from me on Snapchat and Instagram. But that's just the people I'm engaging with. And that's all I was trying to say is it's interesting how we have to just create a new mindset and accommodate, as Brian Solis would say, in What's the Future of Business, creating an exemplary client experience with our own unique particular clients in a way that they want us to communicate with them.
Absolutely. You need to be exactly where they are.
It's tough, right? It's kind of hard, especially for us older guys, because I'm great at email, but I got to tell you guys something. The new Snapchat update, wow.
Oh, it's wonderful. It takes it all right back to the conversation. I've done nothing but praise for it, and I've talked continuous junk about the people that I say are doing Snapchat wrong, and they are doing it wrong according to the demographic of target people that made Snapchat what it is today. That's not how they use it, and everybody else is like, well, that's that's how I'm gonna use it because I see this person do it and all this type of stuff. And I'm like, you're gonna lose the market,
right?
Because Bonnie is not the market, Bruce isn't, Mitch isn't. I'm not. I'm new to it, and it's been around for a while.
But
Mitch, the only thing that I do is, and that's not my. So I know that's a tough area, but I deliver the same message and value on the areas that they're at, but I say, listen, the conversations that you really want to get into the conversation with me, this is where you need to come. And it's just building up that trust and authority is all it does, but that's organic. And like I was telling people, if you want faster, go buy an ad. That's the quickest way to do it.
But I think what Mitch is saying is that the Snapchat demographic is not on your email list.
No, they're not.
Right. I mean, look at the four of us, guys. I mean, I don't like to say it, but we're not young.
I thought you were going to say we're all really good looking.
I was going to say that, and I should have led with that. Damn it. I should have. But, we grew up reading books with actual pages that you turn like this as opposed to this. Right? My kids, I have a 17 and 20-year-old, and exactly when you said about email, the only time my son, he's 17, opens up his emails is when he's getting recruited by another college for basketball, or if a teacher sends the email, or if I do or my husband does. That's the only, because those are the only emails he gets.
And we're living it. I mean, we're seeing it firsthand. Once a month in our Rotary Club, we honor 2 high school seniors from the Danny Hills High School, which is just down the street. And these are kids doing amazing things, usually outstanding GPAs. They're active in the community, in the arts, on the football field, whatever it might be. Really cool kids. But we have to reach out to them and plan they and their family showing up for our meeting. And we fill them in on what's going on. And I'm telling you guys, they're like, hey, Mitch, can you just snap that to me? Can you just text it to me? That's another thing. No, I don't have email. And it just blows me away because it makes it really hard. But David, to your point, I was speaking to a group of 200 to 300 lawyers about 4 or 5 months ago at a convention. And I was sharing with them different ways to communicate. And it requires a new mindset, because what you just said is, if people, you've developed a rapport with your list, but if people want to connect with me, then this is where I'm sharing my message. It's on email. And there's a new mindset that I think business owners need to develop, and that is, if people want to hear my message, then I need to be sharing my message where they are. Exactly. Okay, it's about the client and customer. It's not about me anymore. And the reason why is, people, if you're not putting out welcome mats and sharing content on the welcome mats on the platforms where your potential clients and customers are, here's what they're going to do. They're going to go like this: tap, and you're gone. They're going to find somebody else, or swipe. When it comes to lawyers, you know what? We're just a tap or a swipe away. We're not as important as we used to think that we were back in the day, where you have to come into my office, you have to spend time out of your day to meet with me, probably pay me for a consultation, and then I'll decide if I want to hire you. No. It's more of an Uber philosophy now. We are a swipe a dozen, and you've got to embrace that, is what I'm saying. Embrace it with a smile, embrace it with your heart, and have fun doing it, right? I mean, there's a whole new way of doing business, and I really think that it's important that we older guys and gals, and Bonnie, you're not included in that.
Yes, okay? I am, but you're
very
sweet.
No, you're not. That we need to have a new mindset.
I bet we're right around the same age.
It's all about the customer and the client, and we need to engage them where they want to be engaged at. And for the band, the music guy that was on, all I was saying is, wow, what a perfect business to engage your clients and customers and your fans on Instagram and Snapchat.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I would be all over that. If I could sing and play a musical instrument, that's what I would be doing. But guys, I got to get some work done. Great conversation. I'm going to continue to listen.
Thanks, Mitch.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
Mitch, before you go,
yes, Bruce. Yes.
So before you go, just a quick question on. We all know that YouTube has these algorithms that flag certain music, since we're talking a little bit about the music. And I'm not sure exactly what type of law you do, and you can comment if you can or not. But is there anything that the users on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook Live now, do we have to worry about sharing any musical content in that 10, 15, 30-second, 60-second video that we're producing? Do we have to be concerned about that?
Yes, Bruce. Great question. I spoke at Periscope Summit New York on this topic, on intellectual property and copyright law, and then again up in San Francisco at Summit Live. Look, the copyright and intellectual property laws that applied offline, before the internet, before social media, before live streaming, apply today. If you didn't create the content, whether it's music, audio, video, logos, pictures, whatever it might be, you generally don't have the legal right to use it without the creator's permission. That's what I always tell my clients. That's the general rule. Now, there are exceptions under what's called the fair use doctrine. If you're using someone's image in a news story, if you're using someone's image in a classroom, if you're using someone's image in a commentary, okay, there may be an exception under the fair use rule, but it's a gray area, and it can cost you a lot of time and a lot of money in court to prove that you had a fair use right to use that intellectual property. So, Bruce, what I tell people is, reach out and ask the creator's permission to use their stuff. What you're seeing with people live streaming karaoke, what you're seeing with people using other people's video and images as a preamble to their live streaming shows, it's not okay.
It's very dangerous, because
let me take the question the other way.
They're going to get caught.
Let's say you're at a live event. So you're not using the content in a video that you're creating, but you happen to be at a live event recording a person in the street playing, a band on the stage at a summer festival or a concert hall, whatever the case is. And
right.
my thought is that the people that are doing that are just helping promote those bands with their followings to give them even a bigger audience.
I love the way you think, Bruce. I love the way you think. But here's the thing. I know where you're going with this. And as David and I were just talking about, smart bands, smart content producers will create a new mindset. They will encourage people to use this stuff, share it with the world, and promote what they're doing. David Merriman Scott, who's a gifted marketer, a gifted speaker, he's a friend of mine. I've been in 2 of his books. If you go to David Merriman Scott's blog, he's written about the Grateful Dead. And he's a big Deadhead fan.
Right, I was going to say.
He and Bill Walton are huge. Yeah. And the Deadhead, the Grateful Dead, they have always encouraged their fans to come in with cameras back in the day and just do whatever they want to do. Okay, it was brilliant. And David's written about this. And smart companies today encourage that. But to answer your question, no, you don't have the right to do that. That's somebody else's content. Smart bands, smart content producers, though, will encourage it. I want people to share my stuff. When I do a blog post, when I do a video, share it. I don't care.
So even though they're encouraging it to share for the bands that are, how do the algorithms know that the bands are encouraging it, giving you permission to use it? The algorithms are still going to pick it up, right, and flag it.
The way you're describing it, yes, the algorithm isn't going to know what that particular band, what permission it granted at that particular event.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would say in 12 to 18 months, the algorithm will know that.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Great.
That's a whole nother conversation. Guys, I got to get back to work. I just wanted to jump in. It's great seeing you. Thanks for bearing with me.
Thanks, Mitch.
Have a good day.
Bye.